Right, I wanted to do a vlog about my experience at this weekend's Play Expo over in Manchester. I was there for the whole weekend. I've still got the wristband on because I'm such a nerd. I've never actually done a full weekend of Play Expo before. I've usually done the one day and either done something else the day after or just done it as a one-day event when I've been to Leeds and to Blackpool in the past. But this one was in Manchester. It was the start of the summer, even though we've had clouds and rain and it wasn't very warm, but hey ho. And I thought to myself, chance to go home, chill out, and go and play games and do everything else all weekend. Play Expo, for those who've never been, is almost like a chance to go through the history of video gaming. They have the classic video game consoles, like the Sega Mega Drive, like the Super Nintendo, N64, PlayStation 1. But then they also have some more obtuse ones, such as the Apple Pippin, Philips CDI, and the Virtual Boy. Ugh. Say no more about that. On top of this, they also have a lot of stand-up arcade machines of all different kinds, whether it's light gun games, whether it's rhythm games, racing games, obscure platformers from the 1980s, weird tracker ball-based things like bowling and golf games. And they also have a vast array of pinball machines, be it the very unusual two-player linked pinball NBA game that me and my mate Chris played, a very recent looking Deadpool cabinet that I didn't get a chance to get on, unfortunately, a Batman one based off the 60s TV show with all the video clips from the show. How they got the licensing for that, I don't know, but it was brilliant. We also had some of the classic ones from the 50s as well, just see the old Ratchet style, so it's really good for that. They also had some very cool challenge things. Right at the start, the place called Retro Replay. They had a version of Clax, which had a weird flight kind of controller. You had to twist it like a driving wheel, but it had like a turret on the end. Very odd. There was a Ridge Racer game done to a dance pad. That was impossible. And then there was Sonic the Hedgehog. You had to beat the first act. Green Hill Zone, Act 1. Only you had to use the Sega Activator, a very early motion sensor where you're literally going right, left, and kicking forwards. Trying to do it on a platform game is incredibly hard and yet extremely addictive. I got down to 34 seconds. The staff held the top time at 29 seconds, so does that make me elite? Probably not. Also, one of my friends, Andy, ran a challenge lap on the Tucker Racing 2 on Knock Hill. Have you beaten Chris's time yet? Because I've listened to him gloating about that for quite a while. Yes, I didn't. I blew out. I was nowhere near it because I just couldn't get into that game no matter how hard I tried. I was always a Gran Turismo fan from the PlayStation 1. Now, one of the things that I wanted to do more about this time at Play Expo is I wanted to tick something off my list, and it has ignited a passion that was dormant and I'd obviously never really got the chance to explore before. And that is cosplay. I've always wanted to do this because I've always had the idea of wearing different clothes and looking different style and chatting to people about games and getting all kinds of techniques, all kinds of stuff, sharing experiences over cons, etc., etc. But I've always either had difficulty choosing the character, or it's a character I'd love to do and the outfit is far beyond my creative skills to make. Even as a vegan, I have fists of ham and fingers of butter. So the idea of actually cutting things up and moulding them together and sewing? No. If it's got a hammer and a nail, I might be able to use it, but if it's got needle and thread, get me away from it. Otherwise my hand will be glued to the outfit. Now, what I did get lucky with was obviously this year Capcom released Resident Evil 2 Remake, which I'm calling as my game of the year, even though we're only at the start of May. I can't see much that's going to top it. I'll keep my eyes open though, because I may be surprised. Now, one of the things I loved about that was the way that they've changed the game but kept the mechanics the same. And I like the redesign for Leon's police uniform with much less the shoulder pad style and much more like proper pockets and the actual label of the RPD being more prominent. And I thought to myself, that's a good look. And I found someone who was selling one, who obviously makes them and ships them out. So I thought, yeah, that'd be quite nice to start things off, get one that's quite a simple cosplay. And it came from Asia to London, fine. London to Leeds, fine. Yes, keep it coming, keep it coming. Goes cross Penhouse from Leeds to Halifax. Oh, now we're itching closer. and then it's gone. 2 miles from my home, it disappears. The seller's been told it's been delivered. I've been told it's out for delivery. Somewhere in here is the truth. Get it sorted, Royal Fail. So while I've had to try and go on a reclaim and get a new item or a refund for that, which has been disappointing, it was going to be enough for me to go, I can't do it. And then I remembered that the DLC for Resident Evil 2 Remake had the noir look. And when I took a look at the picture, I mean, my hair's the right kind of one to slick it to the side. I've still got a load of the gel left over from the way I actually made it work on the day. So I said to myself, get a nice waistcoat, a few prop guns, maybe have to get some belts if I have to jury rig something that sticks them around the side to me, and lo and behold, the rest will be history. Turned out to be absolutely fine. And when I got down to the venue, I was lucky enough to run into quite a few people. There was Reese, who was there, dressed as a character from Nier Automata. He was there on the Saturday with that, and then he came back on the second day as Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Both were brilliant. I adored the Mortal Kombat cosplay, especially with the way he had like the kunai to try and improvise the spear. And while he obviously had it on some string, there was no way you could get a ratchet to actually throw it and pull it back. I would say that if you can get a mechanism like you find on a vacuum cleaner where you push a button and it reels it in, that would be one of the coolest cosplay props ever. So get working on that if you can. I reckon you'll be great. Just don't take anyone's eye out at a convention with it, is my advice. People don't like health and safety coming up to you saying you can't do that. That's not good at all. While in the queue as well, I also ran into Lee, who was there as like a Jedi Master cross between the likes of Mace Windu and Obi-Wan Kenobi with a huge purple lightsaber. Really, really good look. There was also a guy who we didn't get his name of, and I think he came as either like a character from Destiny or from maybe Anthem. It was like very much a Space Marine, grey, lots of orange, lots of purple visor to the helmet. Really good look. Guy was really sound. There's a picture that I've got of all 3 of us together. I'm pointing a really crap toy rifle. Obviously, he's got his lightsaber out and he's got his gun, which is really, really nice. So it's a bit of a disconnect in the look. That brought quite a few smiles to people's faces while we were in the queue waiting to be let inside. Now, obviously, once in, I wanted to get around, play a few games, but also hang around with the cosplayers. So in there, I did get to meet a wonderful cosplay of Kasumi from Dead or Alive. Being a bit of a DOA mark, it was nice to talk about everything from going back to the days when Rydor was the boss in the first game, all the way up to the ridiculous cost it is for the DLC on DOA 6. Tecmo, penalty on you for that one, because don't do that. Just don't overcharge people. Just get the game in there and let people actually find it out and enjoy it. So that was pretty cool. Also ran into a few more of the other cosplayers that were up there as well. Ran into, on the first day, Ollie, who was doing a character from, he's called Mr. King Dice. I don't know what game it's from, but really cool, really nice, suave, like violet waistcoat, cards, cat mask. Looked pretty cool, to be fair. Now, one thing I did was I love my arcade games, and as much as I love racing games, shooting games, and all puzzle games, the game I played the most that day was, of all things, DDR, or Dance Stage Mix as it's known over here. It's DDR, it will always be DDR. And strangely, it actually got me on the news.
From casual geeks to professional players, and even costumed crusaders. There's something for everyone here. Welcome to Play Expo here at Manchester Central, a Glastonbury for gamers, if you will. Tens of thousands of fans of all things virtual are expected here over the next 2 days.
We focus on all different types of gaming, not just modern gaming, but retro gaming. These are beautiful arcade machines that we're playing rather badly now. So anything going right back to the start of the games industry in the 1970s and 1980s, right through to the really modern stuff like virtual reality and the new cutting-edge technologies.
People of all ages are here, but you can tell how old most of them are by asking which games they remember most.
At the moment, Fortnite.
Probably Outrun, Street Fighters, as you can see.
GTA 5.
Wait! Hold on a second, rewind! Play that again!
From casual geeks to professional players, and even costumed crusaders.
Casual geeks! Who are you calling a casual geek? Right. Have you a few problems with that. Quite a few. Let's start with the English language version. Casual. I had on a waistcoat, a formal shirt, suit trousers, and polished shoes. That is as far from casual as you can get, minus a suit jacket. I am not casual in that look at all. But that's not the problem. Because I was on a rhythm game, I'm a casual geek. I was in cosplay. I cannot be a casual geek. How dare you, sir? I have never, ever been so offended in my life. Okay. I might have overplayed that one just a little. Just a little bit. They said, report there, it showed a bit of the variety of what was on at the Play Expo there. You also saw Becky and Johnny as Ryu and Ken. So they were really cool people. It was great to talk all things Street Fighter and see things with those guys as well at the con. In the first day, I did something that I'd never thought I'd ever do, let alone do on the first time I've ever done cosplay. And that was enter the Cosplay Masquerade. Now, the way this is, I thought you had to make your entire costume to qualify for these. So I assumed there was no point in wasting the time. But no, it turns out if you do have one that's bought, mine was bought in pieces. It wasn't bought as an outfit, but it was bought. You're still allowed to enter, but you're very unlikely to win outright because ultimately it's about rewarding creativity. And considering the Kim, who had the League of Legends amazing outfit that was custom made, nothing was going to top it anyway. So it was more about just getting involved and putting smiles on people's faces. Now, the way this works was you gave them your name, your character name, and you got to choose your music, so you had something to walk out to, go on stage and perform to. Choose my own name, walk out, go on stage. It's about as close to WrestleMania as I'm ever going to get, so why not? Now, even though I was playing the RE2 remake version of Leon Kennedy, I decided to use the classic police station theme from the second game back in the 90s. As soon as you open the door and you get that instant piano play, it sticks in your mind. It's like, it's iconic, too iconic not to use it. As for my performance, well, aside from doing the initial noir pose, which has appeared quite a few times in the pre-shots and everything else, there wasn't much else I could really do, though I did have the idea of getting behind the light on stage and miming as if I was crouching down to inspect an item or a corpse on the floor like in the second game. And then as I left the stage, I even threw in the classic jog animation as I went out the door, which got me some cheers. I actually don't remember looking out over the crowd. I looked over the crowd, saw the judges in front of me, but everyone else there could have been like 2 rows of people, or it could have been a packed house. I would not have known because I was just too focused. Had that old 1,000-yard stare, which you always get when you're performing, or at least I do. So after actually performing on stage, went to our backstage area, which was literally just an empty room in the convention centre, complete with bins, FLT trucks, and cleaners who were looking bemused at seeing the sights of people carrying guns, swords, pokeballs, and God knows what else. And going, what's going on here? You'd think they'd probably know about it, but maybe they weren't informed. One of the things I will talk about are the 2 winners, Katie and Sarah, who won the performance category. Amazing performance from them. They did this act involving Detroit Become Human with one of them was Kara, who's an android, and one playing their owner. And they did so many different aspects between comedy and a bit of, like almost kind of like slavery kind of reflections, and some great moments of empowerment and rebellion. Really great look. And I also adored the Kara cosplay from Katie. It was fantastic. Very understated white shirt, but with actual lights that lit up were built into the outfit. So while quite a subtle effect, it worked really, really well. You girls deserved your victory, and I hope you enjoyed the free expo, but you've won for it. Choose wisely, because there's plenty of them out there in a moment. Has to be said. Also, as I mentioned Kim's cosplay earlier with the League of Legends style, phenomenal job. I've seen probably worse props than that on the West End stages in London. It was of such a high quality. And apparently she's qualified for the finals of the cosplay competitions that are held from this. Thoroughly deserved, and if I have any chance to input it, I'll be giving you a vote, because I can't see anything that's coming close to that in terms of quality. And I really thank you for showing me all your photos of how you actually made the thing from foam and everything else, and where you covered it all together. It left me looking somewhat envious in my rather blasé looking suit in by comparison. In the second day, more of the same happened. Before we talk about the second day, I want to talk about a guy called Ryan, who came as a Dr. Joy from We Happy Few. Amazing cosplay with this almost like V Vendetta-esque kind of glass, kind of mask with sunglasses to cover his eyes, or sunglasses lenses anyway. Top hat, big bright yellow boots. Wasn't in the masquerade for the first day, but in the second he entered, and like me, didn't win anything. But afterwards, there was two kids that were dressed as the characters from Splatoon, Orange and Blue. And while the music started playing, I can't even remember what they did now. They just started doing some kind of improvised noise. And that set me and another cosplayer who was dressed as, I think it was one of the terrorists from either Just Cause or something of that kind of game. We just started doing really stupid dancing. And Ryan, God bless him, in this full Dr. Happy get-up starts can-can dancing. I hope there's a video of that somewhere, because it is so funny. It was brilliant to see. Thank you very much for putting that impromptu performance on. So really good performance from him. I also want to do a shout out to Kev, who was there as Spider-Man, both the Homecoming and the Endgame / Infinity War style. Really great movements from you. I loved the way you interacted when kids came up for photos and all the poses you pulled off. And so I hope one day you do get the props and everything else you need to do a proper full masquerade for it, because you were really, really good. I thought you've really got something there. To wrap up on day one, a couple more things that I interacted with. Death Wish King Gaming is on Instagram. He was there as this really cool Uzi-toting military kind of character. Ended up in the second day as a Hansa Guard from Metro Exodus. Very good look. I would say that if it had got the right weaponry and a few more of the patches, it would have actually made a very good hunk from Resident Evil 2 or 4, whichever version of hunk you want to go with. But as I say, still very good as a Hansa Guard. And there was also Wing, who I didn't actually interact with on the first day, though you did see her briefly in the news footage earlier. She was the Ratchet and Clank cosplayer who turns up a few seconds after I get called a casual geek by the BBC. I'm not interacting more with her on the second day, because the second cosplay was a really cool, not obscure, but obtuse choice from the PlayStation 1 era. She was Parappa the Rapper. Excellent. Really cool idea. There's not many people who think of doing that as a character, but that's fantastic. I hope one day you'll be there doing a freestyle rap on the stage and part of the masquerade, because I'm sure you got the rhymes and the reams dropping everybody's names or something. That was a really bad attempt. I'm never doing that again. I do apologise. Freestyle rapper? I is not. No. On to the second day, more of the same in terms of gaming, in terms of exposure. A few more cosplayers came in this day from a different side. There was a fleet of people with the Devil May Cry look. I'm sorry I didn't get any of your names, but I will thank you very much for the chance to hold that gigantic pistol that you made. I was able to finally get a photo and tag it with the line, "Finally unlock the RE4 hand cannon," because it's as close I'm ever going to get to actually having that in my inventory in the game, because that is one of the hardest things in the world to unlock. Also, big shout out to Mags, who was there just the Final Fantasy X Lulu outfit. She was looking really, really good and got an excellent mention in the masquerade later on that day. Kaylee and Mike with the cosplay family was just a brilliant touch. Kaylee, great costume as Jill Valentine from RE1. That photo chance to have us both together representing the RE universe was brilliant, so thank you very much for that. And Mike, your Metal Gear Snake Patriot was just brilliant. Really, really convincing look. You rocked that so well. The two lads with the Minecraft, well, I made the mistake of while Mike and Kaylee were signing up for the cosplay masquerade, I randomly decided to point my gun, and immediately one of them shoots me with a foam arrow, a Minecraft foam arrow. and then the other one gets the sword out and the guns, and then for the next few minutes, all it is absolute anarchy as we're having some kind of cross-game duel in the middle of the cosplay convention. I don't doubt there was people looking around laughing and taking photos and videos I'll never ever see, but ultimately, absolute hoot, the lads were brilliant, and they even managed to win the overall performance award for the second day. I'm not sure what they did on stage, but I still think it was fantastic. They turned those Minecraft characters and won the hearts of the judges. I don't think I won the hearts of the judges, because on the first day I shot one of them, and on the second day I did a panoramic threat of all 4 of them before I left the stage, so might have hurt my chances there. Just a bit. Just a little bit. Just a touch. Overall cosplay winner for that day was, again, someone I didn't get the name of, unfortunately, but a World of Warcraft character. Really big armor, really tall dude, properly looked like really convincing. Definitely the kind of person you've seen. If you've ever seen the footage from the American conventions where people have really gone to town on the big like mech and armor kind of characters, he's one of the Brits who's doing it over here, and it was absolutely sublime. Well enjoyed that. So the final series of roundouts going out to Jonio, who I met us today. Cosplay of Jason Voorhees, really cool. Really like to see that. Face off of a Shogun versus Machete. Not sure who'd actually win that one, to be honest. There was also Amy and Sam. Not sure who your characters were on the first day, but it was cool to see you both on the second day as well. Do hold my hands up. I'm sorry, I should have asked. Well, I didn't want to be that guy. He was like, yeah, cool costume, because it was. It was a very cool costume. Really nice look. I just wish I knew who it was. Interestingly, speaking of that, for mine, I was twice called out for different ones. Someone thought it was from BioShock, and another thought was from The Evil Within. So maybe I've got a chameleon gimmick with my cosplay. I don't really know. That was really cool. Also, I want to say a big shout out as well to Danielle, who was playing Daenerys Targaryen. That's as close as I can get to showing bending the knee here. Although I did it actually at the expo a few times as well, so at least I know my place. That was really cool. Really nice outfit. I understand on why you miss your hair, but you definitely have the right one for your current look, so you should definitely enjoy that. Overall, Play Expo was a lot of fun, and all I'll say is if anyone ever wants to actually try cosplay, give it a shot. You might be surprised just how much fun it is in terms of like, you know, people coming up to you, asking who you are, asking what games you're into, ask why you've gone for a certain look, can they get post photos with you. One poor soul on the Facebook official page actually said they felt intimidated, but they didn't want to come up close. They just took shots from afar. Well, you know who you are, and you can always come and ask me for a photo. From what I've seen so far as well, it seems that most people will agree to have a picture taken. Obviously, not everyone's as confident as that, so, you know, you got to respect boundaries where possible. But from what I saw, everyone was happy to put the pose on. Again, you're being seen in a really crazy outfit amongst a load of nerds. I don't know many people who turn that down. People like me. I think you've got to like having some attention on you if you're going to cosplay. So that's one thing I will say. If you're not someone who likes to be seen a lot, maybe leave it alone. But as for me, I think I've been bitten by the bug. So I'm looking forward to SunnyCon at the end of June in Newcastle. I'm definitely going to be bringing back the noir look, and I might possibly have resolved the RPD uniform by that point. So I might want 2 different looks for that convention with any luck. These are crossed. I'm also looking forward to Play Expo in Blackpool. I'm going to be definitely bringing some looks out there as well. And who knows, I might well attend a few more cons in between. There's a chance I might be doing the Sunday of Yorkshire Cosplay Con on the 18th of May, I think it is, on the 19th of May actually, I think. Yes, 19th of May. Also, there is a Leeds Con at the start of June I might also be at as well. So keep your eye out. If you do see us, say hi, come and ask for photos. Or tell me I suck, because usually that's what happens on my streams. But anyway, I've been Swishbone. Thank you all very much for watching this rambling, probably very poorly edited, very poorly audio quality. I've not had as much sleep as over the weekend, but at least I've not had any alcohol. It's back to work tomorrow, so I'm going to enjoy the last few hours of being in my own fantasy world. Thanks a lot, take care, and good night.